An investment worth $65 billion is never a small figure. But when that sum comes from China and is directed toward a neighboring nation like Pakistan, the entire world is left wondering, what exactly lies behind such a bold decision? It is not simply about building highways, bridges, or a few power plants. This enormous amount of money is tied to an infrastructure project that is often described as the largest in the history of the Belt and Road Initiative, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Why would Beijing select a country that is struggling with political instability and economic challenges as the partner for one of its most significant strategic undertakings? That is the question that continues to spark debate and curiosity across global audiences. Join Top 10 Discoveries official as we explore the story behind this unprecedented investment, uncovering the motives, the potential, and the long-term implications of a corridor that could reshape the future of both nations. In the global maritime map, the Malacca Strait stands as one of the most critical transportation routes. It serves as the gateway connecting the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, channeling the majority of energy resources from the Middle East directly to East Asian economies. For China, the significance of this route is particularly immense. Approximately 80% of its imported crude oil must pass through Malacca before reaching its eastern shores. The allure of Malacca lies in its efficiency. It offers the shortest and most cost-effective path to transport oil from the Middle East to Asia. If forced to use alternative routes, the journey could extend by thousands of miles, leading to skyrocketing transportation costs and delays. Analysts estimate that just 1 week of disruption in Malacca could cost China's economy up to $64 million in losses. However, Malacca's greatest strength is also its biggest weakness, its fragility. At its narrowest point, the strait spans only about 1.7 miles, roughly the width of a large urban boulevard. In a tense scenario, a handful of warships or a single maritime incident could paralyze this vital artery. Given China's increasingly sensitive position on the global stage, this risk cannot be overlooked. This is why analysts often refer to Malacca as the Achilles heel of China's economy. The term Malacca dilemma was coined to describe this precarious situation, a massive economy heavily reliant on a narrow, easily controlled passage. This is not just a trade concern, but a national security risk, as energy is the backbone of both industry and defense. Faced with this vulnerability, Beijing has been compelled to seek alternatives. The solution goes beyond expanding its navy or establishing overseas bases. It involves designing an entirely new route to bring energy from the Middle East into China's heartland without relying on Malacca. Driven by the fear of this narrow maritime corridor, China has launched one of the boldest initiatives of the 21st century, investing tens of billions of United States dollars to create a land-based economic corridor with Pakistan. In 2015, when Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Pakistan, a landmark agreement was signed that reverberated across the globe. A $65 billion United States dollar investment in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. This was not merely a bilateral cooperation project, but the cornerstone of the Belt and Road Initiative, a bold plan to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe through a vast network of infrastructure and trade. At the heart of CPEC lies a strategic transportation route stretching over 1,800 miles, linking the port of Gwadar on the Arabian Sea to China's western Xinjiang region. With this corridor, the distance to transport oil from the Middle East to China shrinks from approximately 7,500 miles to just 1,200 miles. This dramatic reduction translates to savings in time, transportation costs, and, most critically, a diminished reliance on the vulnerable Malacca Strait. The $65 billion investment goes far beyond building highways and railways. It encompasses seaports, airports, oil pipelines, power plants, and industrial zones. In essence, CPEC is designed as a comprehensive mega-project to transform Pakistan into a direct bridge between China's economy and the Indian Ocean. For Beijing, CPEC serves as both an energy security safeguard and a means to expand geopolitical influence. Once Chinese goods can flow directly to the Arabian Sea through Pakistan, transportation routes will no longer be overly dependent on maritime regions patrolled by rival navies. This move reflects a clear, long-term strategic vision, ensuring that a colossal economy is not constrained by a single narrow gateway. For Pakistan, this agreement presents a rare opportunity. A nation of over 240 million people has long grappled with inadequate infrastructure, unstable power systems, and overburdened urban transportation. Partnering with China opens the door to modernized infrastructure, job creation, and economic growth. CPEC is thus seen as a $65 billion gamble, a project brimming with immense potential but fraught with challenges. It lays the foundation for profound changes, not only in China-Pakistan relations, but also in the economic and strategic order of South Asia. At the heart of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor lies Gwadar Port, a location hailed as a golden point on the global maritime map. Situated in Balochistan, Pakistan's poorest province, Gwadar directly borders the Arabian Sea and is just 400 miles from the Strait of Hormuz, which handles 1/3 of the world's oil trade. From this strategic hub, goods can swiftly reach the Middle East, Africa, and Europe without navigating far longer routes. Initially built in 2007 to serve Pakistan's military and commercial needs, Gwadar's trajectory changed in 2013 when its management was handed over to China, marking a new chapter in regional strategy. Beijing not only operates the port, but also plans to transform it into a special economic zone. This involves tax incentives, customs exemptions, and policies designed to attract businesses and investment. However, Gwadar's operations have yet to meet expectations. In 2023, only 17 ships docked at the port, a modest figure compared to ports like Hambantota in Sri Lanka or Singapore, which handle hundreds of vessels annually. The primary bottleneck is supporting infrastructure. Gwadar currently has just 3 berths and relies entirely on trucks to transport goods inland. In contrast, the world's leading modern ports boast direct rail networks, enabling fast and efficient cargo movement. China and Pakistan have outlined ambitious plans to expand Gwadar with a long-term vision. By 2045, the port could feature 100 berths, capable of handling 400 million tons of cargo annually. If successful, Gwadar could join the ranks of the world's largest ports, rivaling Rotterdam or Los Angeles. Beyond its commercial value, Gwadar holds profound strategic importance. Its location provides China with direct access to the Indian Ocean, reducing reliance on heavily monitored maritime routes controlled by rival navies. For Pakistan, Gwadar's development could create thousands of jobs, upgrade healthcare and education infrastructure, and offer a transformative opportunity for a historically underdeveloped province. Gwadar is thus seen as a strategic ace in Beijing's hand, not yet a game changer. But with its position and potential, it could become a pivotal force in reshaping regional trade for decades to come. If Gwadar Port is the commercial centerpiece of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, urban projects showcase how China is exporting its infrastructure model to Pakistan. For decades, major cities like Lahore and Karachi have grappled with booming populations, but outdated public transportation systems. CPEC has paved the way for transformative projects that are reshaping the urban landscape. With 2 standout initiatives, the Orange Line Metro in Lahore and the Karachi Circular Railway. The Orange Line Metro, inaugurated in 2020, is Pakistan's first metro system, spanning 17 miles. It features 27 modern trains, primarily running on elevated tracks with just 2 underground stations. With a minimum fare of about 9 United States cents, it's an affordable option for millions of residents. Lahore, with a population exceeding 14 million, desperately needed a high-capacity transit system, and the Orange Line quickly proved its worth by easing the strain on chronically congested roads. The project's total investment reached approximately 1.6 billion United States dollars, with China funding more than half. Karachi, Pakistan's largest city with over 20 million residents, is benefiting from the revival of the old Karachi Circular Railway. Operational since the 1960s, the railway was abandoned due to heavy losses. Under CPEC, the project has been revitalized with plans for a 27-mile route connecting industrial, commercial, and residential areas. Once operational, the system is expected to carry 500,000 passengers daily, helping alleviate Karachi's notorious traffic jams. The estimated cost is around 1.9 billion United States dollars. The broader significance of these projects lies in Pakistan gaining access to the technology and expertise in urban infrastructure development that China honed during its own rapid modernization. These metro and railway systems not only improve residents' quality of life, but also demonstrate China's ability to export its development model, using it as a tool to expand its soft power influence. On a global scale, the speed and cost of these projects in Pakistan are often faster and lower than similar initiatives in Western countries. This makes CPEC a prime example of how Beijing leverages infrastructure to extend its influence beyond its borders while delivering tangible transformations to Pakistan's cities. An economy cannot function without reliable electricity, and Pakistan has paid a steep price for this weakness. For years, prolonged power outages lasting 6 to 8 hours daily plagued both residents and businesses. Industrial zones often relied on costly generators to sustain operations, driving up production expenses and making the investment climate less appealing. This is precisely why energy lies at the core of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Under CPEC, China has committed to 21 energy projects with a total investment exceeding $33 billion United States dollars. The focus is on coal-fired thermal power plants, hydroelectric projects, and renewable energy initiatives. The standout is the Sahiwal power plant in Punjab province. With a capacity of 1,320 megawatts, it consumes approximately 5 million tons of imported coal annually, primarily from Indonesia and South Africa, producing 9 billion kilowatt hours of electricity each year. This plant alone can power 4 million households. Since its operation began, Pakistan's average power outage duration has been cut in half. Another key project is the Port Qasim power plant near Karachi, which matches Sahiwal's capacity. Its strategic location by the port makes coal imports seamless. Ships dock, and coal is transported directly to the plant via conveyor belts, reducing costs and minimizing pollution in residential areas. Equipped with 2 units, each generating 600 megawatts, this facility can supply electricity to 3 to 4 million households. Beyond coal, several renewable energy projects, such as wind farms and solar plants, have been launched to gradually diversify the energy mix. However, coal remains the dominant source, offering the fastest solution to Pakistan's energy crisis. For Pakistan, these projects address the critical energy shortage while laying the foundation for industrial growth. For China, ensuring a stable power supply in Pakistan secures the smooth operation of the entire CPEC framework. Energy, therefore, is the heart of this corridor. Without reliable electricity, the roads, ports, and railways struggle to deliver their full potential. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is often compared to a $65 billion United States dollar gamble. And like any high-stakes bet, it carries significant risks. Despite delivering clear achievements, the project has encountered numerous obstacles that have hindered its progress far below expectations. The first major challenge is political. Following a promising initial phase, CPEC slowed when Imran Khan's government came to power in 2018. Khan argued that many agreements disproportionately benefited China, leaving Pakistan saddled with debt. This viewpoint triggered a wave of project reviews, delaying numerous expansion plans. Political instability has emerged as the greatest barrier, as a decade-spanning project like CPEC requires unwavering commitment from both nations to succeed. Security is another critical issue. Pakistan's southwestern provinces, particularly Balochistan, have long been known for unrest and insurgent groups. Over the years, multiple attacks have targeted Chinese engineers and workers at construction sites. Some incidents even directly struck China's consulate in Karachi. These events have not only caused loss of life, but also fostered unease among investors and engineers, slowing construction progress. Economic and financial pressures further complicate matters. With its enormous investment, CPEC has required Pakistan to take on substantial loans from China. Against a backdrop of a devaluing rupee and high inflation, public concerns have grown that Pakistan could fall into a debt trap, similar to Sri Lanka, which had to lease its Hambantota port to China to settle debts. Although Pakistan's government insists CPEC is essential for long-term development, the burden of debt repayment fuels widespread skepticism about its sustainability. Additionally, incomplete infrastructure remains a significant concern. Gwadar Port, for instance, still lacks an efficient rail link to the interior, relying primarily on trucks. This severely restricts its capacity to handle large-scale cargo, preventing it from becoming the regional transshipment hub envisioned. These risks underscore that CPEC is not a smooth path lined with success. It is a colossal endeavor demanding patience, political stability, robust security, and savvy financial strategy. Without thoroughly addressing these issues, this mega project risks becoming a burden rather than the transformative force it was intended to be. From Beijing's perspective, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is far more than a bilateral cooperation project. It represents a clear example of how China plans with a long-term vision to strengthen its economic foundation and reinforce its international standing. When the majority of oil imports must pass through a narrow strait, the risk of disruption always exists. Creating a direct overland route to the Indian Ocean through Pakistan is therefore considered a form of insurance for an economy valued at the tens of trillions of dollars. The first point is energy security. With this corridor, China gains an alternative transportation route that shortens the journey of oil shipments from the Middle East by roughly 1,200 miles. This reduction allows Beijing to decrease its reliance on the Strait of Malacca, where the presence of competing military forces has always been a concern. In the worst-case scenario, China can still maintain a stable pathway for essential energy supplies. The second point is regional influence. By investing tens of billions of dollars into infrastructure, China transforms Pakistan into a strategic partner that cannot easily be replaced. In South Asia, a region known for intense competition, possessing a reliable gateway to the Indian Ocean provides Beijing with an advantage few other nations enjoy. The presence of Chinese projects and facilities at Gwadar also sends a clear message about China's ability to extend its footprint beyond the Pacific Ocean. The third point is the power of infrastructure. For decades, China has demonstrated that infrastructure is one of the fastest tools for economic growth. By exporting this model to Pakistan, China not only helps improve living standards for millions of people, but also underscores its ability to lead globally in construction and engineering. When compared with the West, where projects such as railways or metro systems often take decades to finish, the speed of developments involving Chinese firms appears significantly more impressive. Finally, CPEC carries strong diplomatic symbolism. Phrases such as all-weather friendship or Iron Brothers are frequently used by Beijing when referring to Pakistan. Beyond these words lies a calculated approach, using investment, technology, and infrastructure as a means of building deep ties. For China, having a stable and loyal ally in South Asia can be as valuable as any military base. For these reasons, many analysts describe CPEC as a masterstroke for China. A massive investment that secures energy supply, establishes a firm presence on the Indian Ocean, and highlights the strength of Chinese infrastructure, now standing out as faster and more extensive than what many traditional powers have achieved. After nearly a decade of implementation, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor has delivered tangible results while raising unresolved questions. Gwadar Port has achieved basic operational capacity. Metro and railway lines are gradually taking shape, and numerous power plants have significantly reduced power outages. Yet, the path ahead remains fraught with complex challenges. If Pakistan succeeds in stabilizing its politics and improving security, CPEC could mark a historic turning point. A direct corridor from China to the Indian Ocean could transform Pakistan into a major trade hub, generating substantial revenue and fostering industrial growth. For China, this would serve as a vital lifeline bypassing the Malacca Strait, strengthening energy security and elevating its position in the global trade order. However, this optimistic scenario comes with conditions. Pakistan's supporting infrastructure remains uneven, with the rail network connecting Gwadar to the interior lagging behind schedule. Revived projects like the Karachi Circular Railway face ongoing difficulties with land acquisition. More critically, security issues in Balochistan and opposition from local armed groups continue to pose significant hurdles. Financially, Pakistan is grappling with high debt, a devaluing rupee, and uncontrolled inflation. In this context, reliance on loans and investments from China has led analysts to warn that CPEC could become a burden. Without prudent management, the $65 billion United States dollar gamble risks turning into a pit of dependency rather than a driver of progress. Despite these challenges, CPEC remains a globally compelling project due to its scale and influence. It vividly showcases how China leverages infrastructure as a tool for diplomacy and soft power. Simultaneously, it challenges other global powers, particularly as Beijing demonstrates its ability to deliver projects faster and at lower cost than many developed nations. The future of CPEC hinges on balancing ambition with reality. If managed effectively, it could become a symbol of economic cooperation and regional development. But if current challenges go unaddressed, this project risks serving as a cautionary tale of the pitfalls of massive global infrastructure initiatives. The The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor illustrates how a nation attempts to overcome strategic vulnerabilities through massive investment. With $65 billion, Beijing has turned CPEC into both an insurance policy for energy security and a gateway to extend its presence into the Indian Ocean. For Pakistan, it is at once a chance to modernize and a challenge of potential dependence that is difficult to predict. The future of CPEC will determine whether it becomes a symbol of successful global ambition or a reminder of the difficulties faced by mega projects that remain incomplete. Do not forget to hit subscribe so you will not miss the latest insights on technology, national strategies, and the innovations shaping tomorrow. Top 10 Discoveries Official will return bringing untold stories, engineering marvels that push boundaries, and quiet revolutions with worldwide impact. See you in the next video.